Yo, Thought Warriors. What is up? Higher Learning is on. It is Lathan Jr.
And it's me, Rachel and Lindsay.
Donnie, what were we talking about just before Rachel got here?
Black fatigue.
Black fatigue.
I was asking if you had heard of it.
I've heard people discuss it, but I haven't done the deep dive on black fatigue yet, Donnie. Tell us about it.
Well, I'm forgetting where I first heard it, but I'm seeing it pop up more and more online, especially this weekend after this video of these Black people having fun at a ski resort, which Rachel has talked about before. That video went viral. They were listening to music, dancing on the slopes, and people were under the comments talking about Black fatigue strikes again. They took the slopes from us. And then you just sent me this video of these people doing flips in the hallway at a cruise.
Play this video
came back up again.
And play this video and make sure that the ghoul that quote tweeted this and tried to make this out to be something terrible is also on there. Okay, so look, what I see right here is an incredibly wholesome video of Black people having fun.
Right.
They're flipping, something my father told me expressly not to do in 1988. He looked at me and he said, you know, they gifted. You ain't got that gift. Don't try to flip. If you come in here with a broke arm, I'll be very upset. Look, dancing.
So they're on a carnival cruise.
Having fun. We don't even know if it's a carnival cruise, right?
Oh, I thought that really was fun. Okay.
I guess it could be. And this ghoul, I'm calling her a ghoul, Lauren Witzke, Donnie, click through to her page. Okay. Christ is King, which is very...
They always do.
It's a problem.
It's always like that. The women who come after me, always in their bio, mother of four, Jesus lives, you know, and they're the most hateful people.
It's either the American flag first, I'll just be honest with you.
Yeah,
or
that too.
Christ is King. Look, Christian community, I'm just saying. America first, that's another one. Christian nationalist film producer.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Interesting, the whole thing. So she goes back. Let's go again. Donnie, go back to okay. So her tweet is, new Carnival Cruise vacation ad just dropped. Will you be joining them? And of course, that is said tongue-in-cheek because the look here is that all of these cruises, or this particular cruise, has been overrun by niggers. That's what she's trying to say. I look at this video and I see Black joy, people flipping, having fun, dancing, the whole nine. It makes me very happy. Let's go to the comments. I need a vacation from my Black fatigue. People are laughing, go down. They appeared to be simply doing flips. That's what you're mad about, Black people flipping. It doesn't look bad, actually. And now there's a race war in the comments.
Which is what she wanted.
Which is what she wanted, because she posted this video of Black people having fun and then said, is this a place that you would want to be? So the Black fatigue thing is what, like, white America being fatigued that Black people exist? Is that what is the
Black fatigue was, I feel like we've come across it in a different way where we were talking about just like Black fatigue, like we're just tired. I thought I took it for what it literally means, not in this way. But I could have sworn we talked about it in a different way. Yeah,
it's another example of like woke, them like taking a phrase that
we
originates
use
from us.
Yeah. So we have Black fatigue from being Black and the pressures and all of that. And they're now saying they have Black fatigue of us.
So let's not give that any energy. Let's not, I thought Black fatigue, it was us. Like, we are tired. We are tired of the way we have to be in this country. We are tired of the way people view us. We are tired of being attacked. We are exhausted, right? Because so much is expected from us. And we can never be right, no matter how we go, right? You're either too much or you're not enough. That is Black fatigue. I'm not letting them do this with taking Black fatigue is a real thing, and I'm not going to let them take this phrase and use it and turn it into something negative. I'm not giving this any light.
Well, I think both Black fatigues are horseshit. Honestly.
Okay.
I think both Black fatigues are horseshit.
All right.
I think both of them are. All right. You don't, no, there's no Black fatigue.
Okay. Well,
all right.
I think so.
Well, to me, let me tell you the way I look at that. And I understand the thinking behind it. But I'm also uninterested in orienting my entire existence around the way that I'm perceived.
That's one, I don't look at it that way, but sure.
I get it, but I guess I'm not fatigued being Black because I've gotten to a level to where I don't fucking care how I'm ready for the fight. Like, I get that people can be, but I think that I'm ready for the fight. It's not just that I'm ready for the fight. I'm ready to take the fight. So when I see the ghoul here, put the tweet back up, the ghoul lady, Lauren Worshkircher or whatever. And when I see this, that actually energizes me. I'm not fatigued by it. I get energized.
But that's the thing. We're not saying that. That's her taking that and saying Black fatigue. They're taking that. You're saying that she's using it as Black fatigue, like they're sick of us. You don't look at that as Black fatigue, and neither do I. And when I say Black fatigue, it's just a term and phrase of like, yeah, I'm tired, I'm exhausted of that. I'm not looking at it as my whole identity or that I'm just exhausted, period, being Black.
Yeah.
But when I see white people do stuff like this, or when I see white people or whatever talk about Black people in a certain way, I'm exhausted by that. Almost like I'm not even giving it energy. Like I'm tired of the way that you view us, the way that you treat us. It's not something that I hold on to. I'm just like, kind of like I don't give it anything. But I thought Donnie was saying they're using Black fatigue almost like they use woke. That was my understanding.
Yeah, that's what Donnie is saying. That you're definitely right. But this is what I'm saying. Donnie, go back down to her name a little bit, okay? So we can see the name. Okay. Lauren Worshkircher Witzke at Lauren Witzke DE.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me tell you why I don't feel the fatigue thing or anything like that, right? So two things. One, when I see her doing this, I get energized and ready to kick ass.
Okay.
That I get energized. I'm ready for it. I like it. I like it because this right here that's more dangerous than the N-word. Like this type of tweet, somebody comes out and says the N-word, and then what happens after they say the N-word? The entire discussion becomes about the N-word. It becomes about freedom of speech. It becomes about like whataboutism.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking 2 Chainz says the N-word. Is the N-word? How are you getting that emotional over one word? That's what it becomes about.
Mm-hmm.
But you see something like this, something that takes Black people simply existing
mm-hmm.
and seeks to societally other it. That is particularly dangerous because that is not about any flashpoint racial language or anything. That's about the existence of Black people, the proximity of them. Do you want to go on a cruise where Black people might be having fun?
Or that or that they gather in large numbers.
Whatever.
That's really what she's saying.
No,
that too.
It's whatever. Would you want to go on a cruise where Black people are together having fun? If you were walking down the hallway and you saw this, would you want to be there? The subtext there is get them out of here. Don't have them around. The subtext is get them out of here. And when that subtext comes to the forefront in America, it's been by any means necessary. So that means if you gotta kick them out of the town, if you gotta punish them, if you gotta lynch them, if you gotta kill them, just get them away. Less Black people, less Black expression, less Black happiness, less Black joy.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, when I hear them talk about Black fatigue or whatever kind of fatigue they got, America has been fatigued with Black people ever since Black people have tried to assert their freedom and equality in America. They've always been tired of that. There's never been a time that they haven't been tired of us saying that we're regular people and we should be able to flip and have fun on a cruise ship. Nobody's doing anything wrong right there. So that lady right there, this lady right there, this type of tweet is legitimately worse than any type of racial slur or epithet that can be uttered because it is utterly dehumanizing the way that she is doing that. And that, woo, woo, that gets me in the morning. That gets me going. That gets me going. That gets me going because I'm like, it's not time yet for the kumbaya bullshit. I know y'all want, it's not time. It's not time for it yet. It's not time for it yet. It's not. We do it and it's okay to do it. You know, I was with Bill and Tommy yesterday. It's okay to do it, right? But it's not quite time yet.
Donnie, let me see the ski video since this hits close to home. I love this. I'm going to be pushing for this next ski season. I really got to go on a black ski trip. I love this.
Yeah.
But I mean, what it is it's them. You're not wrong. I'm not energized. I don't have that, but it definitely is a form of gatekeeping. And I like that they're uncomfortable. If it energizes me for anything, I like the fact that they believe that there are spaces that are held just for them. And Black people are like, actually, no, that's not the case. We can do those things too. And not only can we do them and we go to them, we can do them, go to them and enjoy ourselves and have a good time. Where you're the only ones that are mad. We're actually enjoying just being Black and having a good time. That, if it energizes me for anything, more of that.
Yeah,
keep going to places and keep doing things that make them feel uncomfortable, just by being you. I love it.
Just do what you want to do.
And
tell everybody else to fuck off. I will say, I don't see why anybody would want to ski.
Oh.
I saw something. Hey, man.
Oh, you know Donnie, how I feel about this.
Donnie.
You say it because you don't do it.
Right.
And I used to be the same way.
I don't want to do it.
I used to be the same way.
Yeah, but I don't want to do it.
Same.
Okay.
That was me.
So I saw a Black guy. I guess his name is The Real Tarzan. I posted this video. I did not know about this guy. And he was essentially making love to a king cobra.
Yeah, he's wild. You just discovered him?
Didn't know about him.
Wow.
Didn't know about him.
Oh, yeah.
He was talking about the king cobra and telling us, this is an elephant with scales. And I looked at him, I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't do it, but there has to be a couple of brothers out there that commune with the king cobra.
Yeah.
Look, that's actually not the video. This is a different video.
He's got so much
of him
content.
With a king cobra. Look at him. There's got to be one brother. That is fucking terrifying. I'm sorry, guys. Hey, man, Real Tarzan, shout out to you, bro. Yeah, that's right. Drop that. Look at the size of that goddamn snake. Look at the snake is attacking him. Oh, this dude here is, what's going on in his life? Was he adopted?
Who's holding the camera? But why does he have to be adopted by whites? Why can't he just like to do this?
I apologize. I shouldn't have said
it. It's like you're almost gatekeeping in a way when you say that.
You're right.
Why can't he just be a Black man who loves wild animals? It's not what you would do. It's not what I would do. I did the same thing with skiing.
You are correct.
And now I'm like, I've been missing out on so much.
I'm looking at the Real Tarzan and I'm like, yeah, shout out to the Real Tarzan. That is an actual king cobra. There's no way. As a matter of fact, if I was walking down that street and I saw that king cobra, I would never visit that country again. Whatever place he's in, if I saw that snake, just the idea that snake is real.
Mm-hmm. And there's more.
Do you ever think about the fact that one day, like a long, long time ago, somebody was walking around barefooted and they came face to face with that?
I think about stuff like that all the time. I really do.
It was the king cobra and you. It was the tiger and you. Shout out to the Real Tarzan. I mean, he don't need no shout outs. When I went through his shit, he had like 13 million followers.
I can't believe you just discovered it.
Lord. I've never seen him before.
God.
Never seen him before. But look, to the ghoul and everyone, you guys.
We're here.
You can get fatigued all you want.
We're here.
We gonna flip. We gonna ski. We gonna have a good time.
How did you also realize you can't take our joy away? Joy is what carried us through to where we are now. You can't take that away from us.
That's why I reject the fatigue.
But
that's why we gotta have the energy for joy and worship. We gotta have the energy.
It's why we joke. It's why we laugh through our pain. Not always the best way to heal, but it's why we're still here. We find joy everywhere we go.
Telling you. I can't be fatigued. We can't be tired. We can't be tired of being us. I understand the premise I completely and totally get it. But I'm telling you, any Black person that has Black fatigue, come jump on my back.
I think when I say
I'll
Black
carry you for a
fatigue,
little while.
I mean, like, I can't even give that my energy because I'm not going to let it take me down. That's kind of my thing. Like, no, not going to give it anything. But
Yeah. All right. This is a real treat for me.
us.
But me personally, okay, I will say, because this is a career that I have followed for a long, long time, since her playing days into her legendary, already Hall of Fame coaching career. Dawn Staley joins us today on Higher Learning. She's the author of the new book, Uncommon Favor, Basketball, North Philly, My Mother, and the Life Lessons I Learned from All Three. It is available now,
Mm-hmm.
and you should pick this book up if you have any goals to achieve in life and you want to know how somebody was able to use laser focus and all the lessons of their life to get through them. The book is an unbelievable read. Dawn, thank you for joining us on Higher Learning today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So I'm going to read off some things here. 2-time Naismith College Player of the Year, 4-time Naismith Coach of the Year, 3-time Olympic gold medalist, 6-time WNBA All-Star, 3-time Division I tournament champion. As a coach, I guess my question to you is this. Do you ever sit back and go, I really am the one? I really, do you have any concept of just what a successful human being you've been, or does that type of thinking maybe, or the fact that you don't do that, propel you to more success? Do you ever revel in it? Do you ever take it all in?
I don't.
Mm.
And I don't because I'm still coaching. I'm still working.
Mm.
And I also think that this book made me stop and kind of go through some of the things that I've accomplished, and it gives me pause. Like, I don't want to think about that. I only think about what's ahead of me.
Mm.
Yeah. You could tell that he would do those things. That's why he is saying that. That's how he would be. But
Sure.
what I love about this book, and I'm such a fan too. I've played basketball, not to that level at all, but defense was my thing. So you were someone I definitely looked up to when it came to mirroring how I play defense. But you seem to be private. And not a lot of people know about your personal life. Why did you decide to write this book and let people in now and in this way?
I think one, I'm so thankful and grateful, for my career. And I believe that when we won last year in an undefeated fashion, I'm like, God must be telling me to write a book, or God must be telling me to do something more than what I'm doing. And a lot of what I do is really predicated on working with my players, my current players, my former players, working in the community and working with people that really know me.
Yeah.
I am private. I give a lot to the people that are in my circle.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you come in my circle, because people do come in my circle, like we lead the nation in attendance here at South Carolina for the last 10 years. So people do come in your circle and you're appreciative of that. And then writing a book is scary because you don't know how people will take it.
Yeah.
Right.
I wrote the book in love and wanting people to have something tangible to look at or to hear. And if it resonates with them, then it's great. But you don't know if it's going to resonate with people. You're just doing it. I did it because I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my mother, for my family, for basketball, for North Philly, for all the things. Sometimes you don't know how to show your thankfulness.
Yeah.
And I try to give it, I try to verbalize it. you know, at any given time when I think there's a platform to do it. But the book was scary, but the book was natural. Like it wasn't like it wasn't hard.
It reads that way.
Yeah.
It reads really natural. Like it's your voice, you can tell.
What part of the book did you struggle most with in terms of when you say it was scary? What were the things in there that you were like, oh, I don't know if I should talk about this or say this?
Well, it wasn't scary from a sense of what to put in and what put out. Some of it I just didn't remember, right? I didn't remember. So I had to call on my siblings. My sister remembers, she's got a steel trap. Like my sister remembers all of our interaction when we shared a room. Like I don't remember all of it. I remember the big stuff. Like she used to make her bed up every day. And I used to sleep on top of my covers so I wouldn't have to make my bed up every day.
Efficient.
Stuff like that. Stuff like
Mhm.
that. But it wasn't. It was a very easy process because it was really natural. It's me. Like if you didn't like me, then you're not gonna like the book. If you don't like anything about me, um, you're not gonna like the book. If you like maybe an interview you saw me do or a championship you've seen us win, you read the book, you're probably gonna like me a little bit more because it's just me. You probably want to know a little bit more about me.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to be giving, like I try to give everything that's ever happened to me. I gave everything that I remembered.
Yeah, yeah. You speak about your mom a lot throughout the book, all throughout it. How do you carry your mom's legacy in everything that you do?
Um, I think young people should have somebody in their life. I hope it could be a mother, a father that they can give their life to, like all of it. My mother was the most non-judgmental person. That's why she was easy to talk to. Like if I was going through anything, I could take it to her. My mother was a faithful woman. My mother believed in God. Like she really believed in God and went in the vineyard and worked. Like when she sets the example of what hard work looks like, what dedicating yourself to something, what working at it. Like she worked in it every time the church door opened. She was on every usher board, every motherboard, every so for me, basketball is my church, so to speak. Like the very thing that I can mirror my mother and how faithful she was and how giving she was and how strong. Like my mother was a strong woman. Like I say she had a strength of 10 men.
Mm.
And there wasn't any challenge that she was afraid of or bothered by um attacking.
Mhm.
And that's her South Carolina roots and then growing up in Philly.
Right.
She learned all of those things.
I want to ask you about that. Your faith is such an important part of who you are. And, we even talked about it earlier in the podcast and something that we were talking about. I'm from Baton Rouge, uh, home of the Louisiana State University Fighting Tigers and also the Lady Tigers. I don't know if you know about them. Yeah. But I'm from Baton Rouge and, there are all kinds of differences that we have down there. Obviously, there's socioeconomic differences, there are racial differences, there's all kinds of things that we have. But I just remember feeling what it felt like to be around true Christian people who really had an anointing on them and kind of the the way they would be giving, the way they would sacrifice, the way they prioritize taking care of people, the way they prioritize community. Sometimes they meant well and it didn't come out the best way, but they were always thinking about what can I give you to put something in your belly or to put something in your heart so that you're able to step on into salvation. And, a lot of times now, Dawn, I'm gonna be honest with you, as an older man, seeing people who call themselves like Christians now, sometimes they're mean.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they're racist. Sometimes they're talking about who doesn't deserve this and who doesn't deserve that. And they want to kick people out on the streets and they want to do all of that. And I'm wondering if, I mean, your ministry is so huge through who you are and through the women and men whose lives that you touch. I'm wondering if you ever feel that way, if you ever feel like the sense of community and anointing that you talk about from your mother and that you operate with, that you don't see that in the rest of like the contemporary Christian community? Or am I reading that wrong?
Well, I'm going to go to a part of the book where I'm the youngest of 5 and I didn't have an opinion and I couldn't talk, right? Because I just have older siblings that they had the biggest voices. They were the oldest. I mean, in those moments, you observing that. Like I'm observing, I observed my oldest brother who thought we should do everything everything he said to do. And that's not what my mom said for him to do. And then you learn discernment while not having a voice. So it heightened my ability to observe, it heightened my ability to discern. And I think I carry that with me to this day. And I got a pretty good feel for people. Like I got a pretty good feel. You talked about, some of your experiences as as an adult, and figuring out who is who and what they stand for. And if that's your discernment that is speaking to you. And you're either are going to be attracted and magnetic to that, or you're going to stay clear of it.
Right.
So you're sounding like you're going to stay clear of it. I just got good discernment. I'm gonna go towards things that can only help me. I'm selfish in that regard. Like I don't only want to deal with people that's gonna help me. Do I help other people? Yes, but I'm only gonna allow people in my life that's gonna help me.
Right.
It doesn't mean that I'm always gonna want something from you. It just means that, the bad people and the people who want to detract from where I'm trying to go, I'm not going to invite in my life. I tell this to young people all the time. You do have to be selfish in who you allow in your life. Like there are so many detractors. There are social media. You got boyfriend, girlfriends. You got all these things that are competing for your time. Yet they may not be good for you. So you got to figure out who these people are that you're going to allow in your life. You got to use social media to your advantage and not let it be your guide to making real life decisions. So it is that. Like I only want good people and good things in my life.
You said something interesting. You work with so many young people. You talked about detractors. And a lot of times when I'm talking to younger people, anytime they hear any type of criticism or any push, you my hater. What is the difference between a hater and someone who's trying to help? Those are two big H words. A hater is somebody that's trying to make you feel bad or make you feel small, and someone that's saying, hey, this is something that you might need to work on, that's giving you constructive criticism. Hating and constructive criticism, what's the difference?
Age. It's age. I mean, really, like, and it's the way you go about doing it. Young people really don't look for strife. They run away from it. They don't want friction. They, even if it's living in a world of untruth, like they don't want to see anything that's like, I'm gonna put it in a basketball sense. When someone's having a good game, they will only remember all the good things that happen in that game. If you point out one thing that they could get better, right? And they'll say, yeah, but this what else what I did right here. This is all the good stuff. Like, it's amazing to me. So you have to condition them to be able to handle the good and the bad. Because if they're not able to handle both, at some point, somebody that controls their destiny, their ability to elevate in basketball is going to break their hearts. So I'd rather for me to break their hearts on this level than a WNBA coach. And hopefully they'll get it to where you can have real conversations. I can have real conversations with my players. Because we conditioned each other to be able to say it and move on. And it's a two-way street because it's not like, I like all communication. I like if I tell you something that, if I criticism and you suck your teeth, well, we can work on a delivery, but I know you heard me because I got a reaction.
Because you got a reaction.
So, you got a reaction. So if they say nothing and they're stone-faced, I got an issue with that. Like, I don't even know what they're thinking. Like, but if they suck their teeth, roll their eyes, okay, she heard me, but let me go talk to her on the side and say, hey, you may not like what I said, but use your words. Use your words. Come and use your words. And that is life lessons for when they leave South Carolina, when they're gone. They're going to take that with them and hopefully navigate life a lot better.
The title of the book, Uncommon Favor, did that come from that interview and you talking with Holly Rowe, or was that always a personal mantra of yours?
I use that phrase when I can't explain what just happened. Like when because we lost the year before we won the championship. We lost to Iowa in the semifinals, and then that one hurt me really bad. Like it really, the failures hurt more than the victories.
Is that the toughest loss of your career? Of your coaching career, that loss to Iowa, because that was the Caitlin Clark team. That's the toughest loss? Yeah.
Yes.
Why was that so hard?
Not for me, for my players.
For your players.
Like, we had a great team. We had a great team. They did all the right things. Great people, great competitors, never complained. Like, when I tell you, for 4 years, my players, like, I would say 90% of the time, never complained. So I wanted them to win. I wanted them to go off, with a bang. And when that didn't happen, they were hurt, and that hurt me. Like, that hurt me to my core. Now, it didn't hurt me enough to didn't think there was a God. But I did question, hey, why? I need to know why. I need to know why. But the answer to the why happened a year later. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Right.
So God left me on the why, and then followed it up, and I had no words besides it's uncommon favor. Like, it truly is like my career. Like, you name some of the stuff. Like, why was I the one that got out of the projects?
Yeah.
So I'm just hoping I'm utilizing and I'm treating this uncommon favor that God's given me in a way that pleases Him. So I really do try to be nice to people, like giving to people, like intentionally, because I've been gifted with like an overflow of favor.
Yeah, you were so in that. I can remember that interview after the game like it was yesterday, and you were so raw with emotion. And to hear you talk about, what had happened the year before, and like what you were, where the emotion was coming from in that moment. Were you shocked by the response that people had about you just being honest and talking about your faith and what it meant to you? And then people tried to take that away from you? It kind of goes to what we were talking about a little bit before.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't shocked because I do know that there are people who understand it. And I don't really try to throw my religion on people and force it down people's throats. But I'm going to be me about it. Like, I'm going to explain it the way that it feels to me. Um, I was kind of happy that most people took, like, there were sermons. I saw on social media, people made sermons about uncommon favor. There are some detractors that want church and state to be separated, right? You hear some detractors when it comes to that. But this is my personal perspective. This isn't South Carolina women's basketball. They put the mic in front of me and put the camera on me, and I promise you, I don't stage anything. I was crying, and I don't cry. I don't cry. Like, I don't like to see. I really, and I darn sure didn't want to cry on national television, but I was full. Like, I was full, and it came out the way it was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
Have you ever ran into a player that maybe was uncomfortable with hearing some of the religious aspects of your coaching? And if not, what would you say to a player or players that would have a problem with there being religious talk or talk about God at, like, school stuff, school basketball at South Carolina?
Here's how I handle that. Because after every shoot around, we have pregame meal, and we give a quote from either one of our former players and the scripture. We've done this for years, probably done it for 15 years, right? So I'll take a screenshot of the quote and the scripture, and I'll post it after pregame meal. And I knew one of our players was Jehovah's Witness. So I'm like, I went over to and I was like, hey, we do this after, we do this, we've done this. And if you feel some type of way about it conflicting with your religion, we will stop doing it. Because that's not it's conversation. Like, most people will jump to the conclusion of, let's separate church and state. You work for, the state university, you should do this or do that. When just let's have the conversation. Don't send your emails, don't send your letters, that's not the way to combat. Like, you're not going to tell my boss to make me stop doing something on my personal account, right? It's conversation. Like, someone from an organization wrote in a letter to the president, to the AD, to me, right? So I get the letter and I'm like, I see a number on here, let me call them. Picked up the phone, I called them, hey, the lawyer, can I speak to, this is Dawn Staley, blah, blah, blah. Of course, he's not available, right? So I'm like, well, can you tell him I called and here's my number? Never heard from them, right? Like, never. But if you have a conversation with me and you understand where it's coming from, and you understand that I do talk to my players if I'm being offensive, anything, it's religious based or not. If I'm offensive to any one of my players, young people, I'm gonna apologize and I'm gonna move differently.
Right.
That's how I operate.
Yeah.
I don't go calling, demanding. I have a conversation. If you can make it make sense to me, then I'll stop doing it if it's offensive.
Could an atheist play for Dawn Staley?
Yeah. Catholic, Jehovah's Witness.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't discriminate. It's about learning and growing. I learn more about other people's religions. We can make it into a team bonding, life lessons session.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask you, you talk about learning from people. In the book, you have a whole chapter about people over process. You talk a lot about advancing the lives of young people, and you give so much to people and they learn a lot from you. But what do you learn from your players?
Great question.
Some of my former players are some of my best friends. Like, I work with a young lady that works in our office. She's my first recruiting class 25 years ago. She works here. She's been working here for, I don't know, 15 years now. What I learned is that there are just some young people that really get it. They give me stamina. They energize me because they believe in me. Like they truly believe in me. And I don't want to ever let them down. So I'm gonna speak up for them. I'm gonna make sure they're all right. I'm gonna make sure that their families are right. And part of that is just communicating. Like, I'm a communicator. I don't work well with people who don't communicate. Like, I don't. Like, I know that about me. So we try to make we try to force communication on our players, on our staff members who don't want to talk about things, because the less you say, the more susceptible you are to being taken advantage of.
I need to learn that.
It's true.
We're podcasters. That's hard.
All right. You've been so generous with your time. I wanted to do one last thing with you because you deal with a lot of younger people. So I have some pictures for you of rappers under 30. And I want to see if Dawn Staley knows who these rappers don't shake your head yet, Dawn.
Just try.
Dawn, don't shake your head yet.
I wonder if I'll know them.
I'm not even gonna know the lyrics. You told me the lyrics.
All right. Donnie, first picture.
I don't know him.
That's
who is that?
That's Playboy Cardi.
Oh no, I wouldn't even guess that one.
Okay, all right. Next one, Donnie.
Oh, that's the hair. Sexy Red, right?
Sexy
Yes,
Red!
yes.
Ding, 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 ding. Don. Okay, Don on the board. Don on the board. Who is that?
I'm trying to look on his chain. What is that?
We'll give you a hint. Texas.
Texas. Big rapper out of Texas. Okay, that's Big X the plug. All right, moving on. Who the next one? Who is this, Don?
He got big in his name.
He should, but he does not.
Oh, okay.
That's Dave Blunts. All right, give her one. Give her one. Throw another lady up there. Oh, I know you know.
Yeah, that's
Flaugier, that's LSU right there. So, yeah, okay. So who is that? Oh, Dawn, I know you know this one.
She looks different though.
She kind of does.
That's not a good picture.
Yeah, show me a different picture.
Okay, Donnie, come back to that one. Show her, find a different picture. All right, give her one more. Who is that?
That's a rapper?
That's a rapper / singer. She really heating up right now.
All the rage in the last year.
All the rage right now. We gonna give hints. She with TDE. She
just won Grammy.
She just won the Grammy.
Best female rapper.
Dawn, I know your players rocking out to her.
I know they are, and I have no idea. Who is that? Who is that?
That's Doechii. All right, we're gonna come back. Okay, we're gonna come back. Donnie, did you find a picture? Who is that?
She's too young to be Faith Evans, though, right?
That's Lotto. But look, all right.
I heard of her now.
All right, you heard of Lotto. So, okay, so we 2 for 5.
You did well.
You did well.
What happened to Lil Baby? What happened to...
They over 30.
They over 30?
They
Lil
over
Baby's
30.
Over 30?
Lil Baby, they over 30. See, because look, I'm going to be honest with you. When I was putting this list together, I started to make it all like women because I could not really name any male rappers under 30, not for real. Like Playboy Cardi is 29. He just made the list.
Oh, wow.
He just made the list. But I know you know Glorilla. I know you know Like,
know Glorilla.
He tried to make it hard. He tried to make it hard.
because I know you know Glorilla. I know you know all the rest of them and all of that
yes.
stuff. Ice Spice.
Well, I have to ask you this question because it goes with music. I was shocked at the way your book ended because you talk about what your alternative career would be. And you said it would be singing. Can you sing?
No. No. Now listen though, y'all. Anita Baker is my all-time favorite.
Oh, no.
Did you hear about this?
What?
Oh, no.
Dawn.
We were doing so
Dawn,
well, Dawn.
Are you being serious?
Are you trolling me?
We know Dawn got to go. Dawn.
It's in a book. It's in a book.
Dawn.
And she's reading a book.
Dawn. I don't know if you heard about this. Rachel don't like Anita Baker.
Okay, don't like is a
Rachel
stretch.
don't like Anita Baker. That's what she said, Dawn.
I said, Dawn.
You're young, that's why. You're young, right?
No, I'm 40. But
and
I
you're
said,
still young. This soul right here. Anita Baker is soulful.
She doesn't move me, Dawn.
Okay,
she just doesn't.
Somebody hurt you.
That is true. That is true.
Oh my God, I could talk to her for an hour and a half, 2 hours. She has to go. Her name is Dawn Staley. The book is Uncommon Favor, Basketball, North Philly, My Mother, and the Life Lessons I Learned from All Three. It is available now. There's so much happening in the world of women's basketball. We could talk to you about so much of it. You've been extremely gracious with your time. You guys go out and pick up the book. She is Dawn Staley. Thank you for joining us today on Higher Learning.
Thank y'all.
So
had a lot of fun.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Offset. He filed an amended divorce response earlier this month in which he's asking that Cardi B pay him spousal support. A specific amount hasn't been requested, but Cardi has since responded on X.
The only reason why this motherfucker asking for spousal support, because I was asking for everything. And because I don't be with my kids. Yo, you such a fucking pussy ass nigga. Word to my mother. I want you to die, but I want you to die fucking slow, nigga.
So, of course, that's the...
When you die, nigga, I want you to die slow in the bed. And while you die, nigga, you gotta think of me.
Jesus. So Offset is, of course, the father of her children. So, Rachel, this is all you.
This is not all me. This is not all me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have so many thoughts when it comes to Cardi B and the whole thing. One, I just hate how much of it is playing out in front of me. It's so messy. I guess some of it has to come out, but like, when you sent this into the group chat, my response was, he is a hateful man. That's exactly what I said. And my reason for saying it is, there are some cases, and it's where a spouse is deserving of spousal support. This is not the case in this situation. And I said he's a hateful man because Cardi B filed for divorce back in last year. This has been going on for almost a year. When Offset responded, he did not request spousal support. Cardi B's worth estimated around $80 and $100 million. Offset is estimated to be $30 million. Offset amending his amending his response to now ask for spousal support is hateful. It seems retaliatory. I'm giving you numbers. So technically he makes less. It appears they don't have a prenup, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have not mentioned that, but the way that these filings have taken place, it seems that they don't have a prenup. Offset clearly has money if the reporting is correct and he's worth around $30 million. The fact that you make less than her entitles you to seek spousal support, but that doesn't necessarily mean you need it. And for him to not want it initially and now seeking it, it seems to be in response to the way Cardi B is living her life out loud, the way she is talking about moving on, the way she's rapping about it, the way she's dating a professional football player in Stephon Diggs. I mean, it seems to be that this is his way of fighting back, and it's hateful. And I will always have that stance when you are not, it's not that she's denying him half of assets or they're going to split up the things that they got made together during the marriage. He's asking for something in addition to that, which is why I have a problem with it. And I will always have a problem when a man or woman does that. If you don't need it and you're just being greedy, yes, don't do this. I don't want this to be a gender wars thing. I'm very serious
It's not
about
gender
this.
wars, but no one
You
has
looked
a problem.
at me. You looked at me when I said it's not no one. No, I'm very no. I want to be very clear about this. I do not believe that just because you're a woman, you get to seek spousal support. If you don't need it, I'm not talking about dividing assets. If you don't need the extra, man, woman, whoever, I do not believe in you asking for it. It is greedy.
Okay.
And you're doing it to be spiteful and because you can take advantage of an archaic system.
Okay. So this is what I'll say. Number one, two things. Offset got to make sure that he's not going outside in this entire thing.
Going out.
He does. It's starting to look like a little bit. Offset has his entire veneer, his whole image, and he is starting to go outside a little bit, I'll be honest with you.
She was always the bigger star. So yeah.
Well, I mean, not that. I mean, he is a huge, gigantic star, part of one of the most influential rap groups of all time. But it does look like he's being a little petty, right? Looks like he's being a little petty in this situation. For not just that, but he posted a video after they were on the boat together. Of course, there was this video of Stephon Diggs and Cardi B doing drugs together on a boat. No, it wasn't the video. I'm just joking. It was a video of Stephon Diggs. It looks like he was handing out drugs to women on the boat. That's what the video looked like. And they were partying. They were having a great time. And then, like, a little while after that, you see Offset, like, he releases a video. He's like, man, hoes everywhere in the whole nine, whatever, it's fine. So he does have to worry about going outside in this situation. This has been a very public back and forth between the two of them, where I guess they're expecting people to take sides. I think that this spousal support thing was more of a publicity move than it was anything else, because it's publicity for Offset to needle her and try to get under her skin and actually elicit the response from her that he got, which is her telling him that he wants her.
So he doesn't care about bad publicity, is what you're saying.
Well, I mean, I don't know if he looks at it as bad publicity, because the gender wars are so deep right now that there are going to be a whole bunch of men that come out and say, hey, if she makes more than him, if she's such a bigger star, like you just said, why doesn't she pay him? Because we've seen this for so long, like with women. There are going to be men that come out and go,
there are a lot
what's
of
good
men,
for the goose is good for the gander.
city boys.
Right. City boys, right? So they're going to be what's good for the goose and what's good for the gander. I guess my question is this: Offset, Cardi B aside, what is the atypical, or excuse me, not the atypical, the typical perfect arrangement for spousal support? And I'll tell you why. From having covered a lot of divorces, I do know cases where, particularly women, were able to get as much money out of a man, out of their husband as possible, because they were unhappy with things that happened in the marriage, because they were unhappy with the way things went. I'm serious.
No. That's not why they're getting it. That might be what motivates them.
That's once again, I'm not saying that that's definitely not why they're getting it, but what motivated them to, I guess, stick it to them,
of course,
as hard as possible was stuff that happened in the marriage.
Yeah.
And I think for me to be as toxic as I can in this situation right now, what people are talking about is this has always been partly something that's been emotionalized, like in these huge marriage discussions and these gigantic divorce disputes. This has always been something that was at least partly emotional, like, hey, you did this, you embarrassed me, you did this, I'm gonna get all of this, and I'm gonna hit you for spousal support. And not only has it been that, but it's also been something that's been pretty lauded. Like, it's been pretty like, go get him, girl. And that's just a fact.
No. It has been. Your question to me was, what is the perfect situation?
So now that women are going through it and we're all agreeing that it's unfair, so what's
spousal
what's
support
the perfect?
To be okay. Yeah. So right now, spousal support is, when you argue for spousal support, you're basically saying, when I was with this person who made so much more money than me,
right,
I was able to live a certain lifestyle, and I want to keep living that lifestyle.
Right.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think that because what people don't account for in all of this is, he's asking for spousal support, but they still have to split up the money and assets they made during the marriage. Now, I don't know which state is going to be governing this suit. I don't know where they live.
Either New Jersey or Georgia.
Okay, which I don't know about New Jersey, but Georgia's not a community property state. So it's not as bad as what I went through in California. Yeah. I don't think Jersey is either, but it's not as bad as what I went through in California. But the point is that they have to split up the things that they made. So it's not like Offset is out or anybody who's out. They're going to be cars and homes and cash and stock and all businesses, possibly all these things that were made together. They got married. They've been married for 7 years. So there's all these things that possibly are up for grabs to enrich him even more. He is saying, I lived a certain way because of her, so she should continue to enrich me. You make $30 million. You're possibly going to get even more when you split this up. That to me does not seem right. You're capable. There's an argument that can be made because you were attached to Cardi B and she was attached to you. You became this power couple in the rap game, in the entertainment industry, and it allowed you to make even more money, and you can continue to make money. You could possibly go write a book and profit off of this. So there's ways. It's not like he's, to me, the perfect situation, not the perfect, but an appropriate situation for spousal support is not this. It is when I'll use Bezos. No prenup. He goes on to build Amazon. She gets half his stuff. They moved across the country. She made his house a home. She gave up her career to enrich his, had kids, her whole life became supporting him and their family.
Well, she actually was a big part of the company as well. Like she did stuff.
Okay.
Talking about Mackenzie Bezos?
Yeah, but my point is that it became about Amazon and their family. That is a person to me who's entitled to, let's just say she didn't work with Amazon. And her whole life became furthering his career, building that company and making a home for him so he can have both things he wants, the support of a career and the personal life. That to me is a person who now has to start over. She's entitled to whatever they made during the marriage and maybe spousal support. But for him, he made so much money, I don't even think she should get spousal support because she's going to get so many millions. She doesn't necessarily now need that. But to me, it's the person who...
Well, she got billions of dollars.
That's why she don't need spousal support. But to me, the person...
So then everything that you're saying wouldn't necessarily
No,
matter.
I said maybe hers doesn't because the amount of money.
Right.
But the person who gives up everything to enrich the other person, and now when the divorce is over with, they have to start over... To me, they deserve some spousal support.
Okay.
And I say person.
Right, person. So, okay. Then in this situation, is there any argument, this is just devil's advocate right here, is there any argument that Offset could make, right? Because he has his own money, but could Offset make an argument could he make a compelling argument to you that I did this, that I did that I wanted to do this, but I couldn't do it. I wanted to support Cardi B's career, and I did this to support Cardi B's career, and I did that to support Cardi B's career. Is there any argument he could make that maybe we haven't heard yet?
For me,
yeah.
When I see that if the reporting is correct, 30 mil, no. At best, he could ask for child support.
Because he wants joint custody of the kids.
If he wants joint custody, because she makes so much more money, and if they're keeping up the lifestyle that their children have, where they're paying for security in the top schools and they have joint custody, if he asks for child support, then maybe I could understand that more. But spousal support, I really feel like, and particularly in this situation, in most situations, you're trying to hit them even harder. In most celebrity, where it's a rich situation, let me be clear.
All right.
You're trying to hurt them.
We can move off this, but you said that the child support, spousal support laws are archaic.
Yeah.
What type of reform do you think needs to happen?
Okay, I'll use my situation.
Okay.
My judge said, and this is public, to my ex, you are fully capable of working. You are licensed in multiple states. You're getting half of the things that you made during the marriage. So you're enriching yourself and you are fully capable and you're young to go off and keep building. It's not necessarily if you feel like you sacrifice something, you're getting that by the money that she was able to make and you're getting half of it and temporary support. The law to me shouldn't be, as at least in California, oh, you make more. I have a business that's not making as much, so I got to keep supporting you. I feel like there's other things should be taken into consideration, right? Like, for example, we wanted to possibly have a vocational expert to show that your business isn't profitable, but you could go work for somebody, and this is the amount of money you could be making in this state based on the number of years that you have been in practice in this profession. You're choosing to start a business, and good for you. And with the business comes up and downs, but you could be making this money, or you could be doing this and starting a business at the same time. You have the ability to influence because you came from this TV show. You could be making money. These are things, to me, it shouldn't just be, let me plug these numbers into a calculator. You make this money, you make this money, so this is what you get as far as support is concerned. Other things should be factored in, which if you go to trial, those things, you can argue those things, but not everybody has the money to keep paying an attorney, which is super expensive, to go to trial.
Right.
I also don't think that you should necessarily have to pay for somebody's legal fees.
Right.
Which is what I had to do.
All of that stuff is archaic.
I think everything is case by case. I don't think you can always apply black and white letter law to a case by case situation, because in family law, there's a lot of gray area. And I do think that for California specifically, because the laws are so strict, right?
And those laws were created to protect wives.
Yeah, because they couldn't have bank accounts.
Right.
They couldn't have, now that things are changing, you have people who are fully capable of working, who are young, who maybe have made bad business decisions on their own or career choices, but you're punished for it because you make more. There has to be certain things that are taking, in my opinion, into accounting. Like, well, I'm not going to say all that. Okay. I'll save it for a book if I write it.
All right, squatters in the news again.
Days after their father passed away, a Decatur, Georgia family says that strangers moved into his home without permission and they began throwing parties.
We throwing a party. You know what time it is.
From inviting people on Facebook to pool parties to posting videos on social media from inside this $500,000 home. One family says squatters have taken over.
It is a nightmare. These videos and advertisements are so far-reaching that we received a call this morning from someone in Florida that said, hey, I've seen your dad's property on the internet.
Lisa, Kevin, Marcus, and Marlene grew up in the home. They say it was just last week their dad passed away. And not even 48 hours later, the squatters came in like thieves in the night and took over their childhood home.
It pisses me off.
Thieves in the night.
If this doesn't change your mind, I don't know what does.
It doesn't.
Wow.
It doesn't. You know why it doesn't change my mind? Because whatever system it's not heartless. It's who I have a heart for. So obviously my heart goes out to those people. But there are people who do abuse things that are meant to help people, right? So I don't think that, like, people that abuse SNAP, which is way less than people say, that people that abuse EBT, people that abuse the PPP loans when they came out, that doesn't, to me, negate the fact that sometimes people need help and we need to have a social safety net for people for all different types of situations. I've heard so much from people about the squatters thing. I've talked to so many different people about it. It is very fascinating. It's really fascinating to me. It's one of the more fascinating things that I've delved into. This is a disgusting situation here. A disgusting situation. Totally disgusting. But it is interesting to me that we have, how can I put this? The idea of what human beings deserve is interesting, or what is a right of a human being. It's interesting to me. It's interesting that how we look at that based upon our understanding of society, right? I hear people say all the time, like when we're talking about this, I hear people say, well, you don't deserve anything that requires somebody else's labor. So you don't deserve anything that requires somebody else's labor. Well, that means you don't deserve anything. So that there's nothing that you deserve. There's nothing that's a human right. There's nothing that, and we've oriented society around like having to go out and give time for your life in exchange for, things that sustain you. And I guess that's how it would be even if we didn't have a society, right? You'd still have to go out and hunt. You still have to go out and forge. Still have to go out and do that stuff. The only thing would be that like you would be able to form human bonds while doing that stuff. You'd be able to forge with your family. You'd be able to forge with your friends. You'd be able to do it would be different. There would be a loss of your basic humanity that you would have to exchange, which is being in the workforce, having to show up somewhere, having to commute, having to do all of this. You wouldn't have to give up a part of your personhood in order to do these things, right? Which is what society asks you to do. And I know that seems weird and outlandish that I would say that, but like for a lot of people, going to work at jobs in order to come back and then feed families or have a place to live, that is like exchanging a large portion of the life that they are going to lead for those things. Now, I get that's the way we've oriented society, but we are so we're so dedicated to it. We're religiously dedicated to the idea that you should have to go somewhere and give up a part of your life to get money, and then that money should be used to buy like apples. And that money should be used to like buy a place to live. And that money, and honestly, I do not know why. I just am not that dedicated to that. I know you guys are saying that Van is virtue signaling and Van is doing all of this. Maybe so. Maybe so. But I don't know. It's just like the more I look into this, what I see all of these stories of squatters, right? And there are stories that stick out like sore thumbs, and people go right away, that's not right. But like,
I think we can do that here.
I also, like, we're here right now in Spotify, right? Like, doing this podcast. 3 blocks over from this amazing building. 3 blocks over from this amazing building. 3 blocks that way. I'm legitimately talking. 3 blocks that way.
We got it.
It's 3 or 4 whole streets with people sleeping on the ground. Like, with people sleeping on the ground.
Yes.
There's like anywhere, like literally Skid Row in LA, they're sleeping on the ground. And like the whole thing, I don't
think anybody is arguing with you that they have a problem with homelessness or that people can't eat or people don't have
but you can't be a little bit pregnant. So it's either these things, you can't. It's either
the means can't be you, cause like, where does it end? The means can't be like, oh, you're hungry, then you should be able to go steal whatever food. I talked about this last time. Oh, you need a place to sleep.
Okay.
I gave you the example. Oh, if somebody was in your car,
yeah,
you would not be okay. And they were like, well, I need a place to stay.
So this is the thing.
You would not be okay with that.
Once again,
somebody comes and steals all your shit because they have nothing. They have no clothes. They have nothing. You would not be okay.
Gigantic red herring. Because what you're doing then is
you have no solution though. How about that? How about maybe you're saying all these things, right? Like,
yeah, but why do I need to come up with a solution?
Well, what I'm saying is,
what's your solution to racism?
Wait. Red herrings. Like what
we talk about? Why do I need to have a solution?
You're talking about something where you're like, I don't get it. We're like, cool. We have a problem with it too. We have a problem with the fact that there are streets and streets of homeless people. I'm disturbed by that. Like, I'm disturbed that people can't eat. I'm disturbed that people can't take care of their family or their children. All right, cool. But I also believe that the way to fix that is not going out and just taking what you don't have and then putting other people in a similar situation. That is what I can. And so I was like, if you believe that, fine. But you're saying, well, they should just be able to have it because it's a basic human need.
Well, first of all, let's crystallize what it is that I'm saying. I am not in any way in favor of someone going and of someone using their life situation. I gotta be honest with you. It's like, it's a weird way. It's weird because
Use this example.
No. Hold on. The system is what I have a problem with. Like an ultra-capitalist system that makes human beings have to make decisions about their existence, right? And sacrifices the betterment of who they are for them to have to make those decisions. The fact that someone would even have to steal to feed themselves is an immense problem.
Correct.
To me, societally and philosophically. The fact that you would have to steal. The fact that there's an entire system that's based around you having to make these decisions about life, sometimes about liberty. Like capitalism undergirds, and like gangster ultra capitalism undergirds all of this.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why the police can fucking destroy and beat up and fuck over one group of people is because those people don't represent capital. Those people come from places that are fucked up. And when you see somebody that's black, you think, oh, less valuable. Like, less valuable to society. Not quite the same type of earner. Historically, we've disenfranchised and dispossessed those people. So then we can then dispossess them from anything. We can dispossess them from their lives and nobody's gonna care because they're not worth enough. Yet we are constantly over and over and over and over and over again reinforcing that system, sometimes not even purposefully, while also saying it's wrong.
Okay, so I agree with everything that you're saying, but in this situation, the example that's given, you don't have a problem with that. This is not a capitalism situation. This is a man who owned a home, and his children, it was inherited to them. They're not even landlords. This is a totally different situation. In using this example, you literally looked at this and said, I don't really have a problem with it. It's the first thing you said.
That's not what I said.
Did I make that up, Donnie?
No, I didn't. That's not what I said at all. Like,
Donnie?
Yeah, no, he had a problem with this.
Yeah, I didn't say that at all.
He went back to his original argument.
But like,
I'm not projecting because I'm not projecting. I heard you wrong.
I don't have a problem with this at all. I didn't say I don't have a problem with this at all. What I will say is like this situation, and we have to talk about it because I am never going to stop looking deeper into how we orient our societal expectations. And I'm willing to take the shrapnel from the audience on this. And I'm willing to be a hypocrite as well. Because you know what?
Well, I think you have to be.
Well, no. I mean, because everybody out there is going to say that, like, I don't want to be anybody's landlord. I don't want to be anyone's landlord. Like, if you ask me right now if I have a problem with a starving person stealing, then I'm going to say no, I don't. If you're going to ask me right now, do I have a problem with a starving person stealing from me? Well, then the answer is probably going to be like, there are all kinds of things that come with that. If I come out of my house and I see somebody in my house, then I'm going to feel unsafe, right? I'm going to feel unsafe. And so then I would probably shoot that person if they came into my house, right? I'm going to feel unsafe. Then I would feel bad if I found out that they were just stealing to eat. But I'm a part of this same system.
Of course.
And to say that I can't critique it unless...
I didn't say that.
But that's what you imply when you say...
No, I didn't say you can't critique it. I said, okay, I didn't say you can't critique it. I said, I have a problem with it. I literally agree with everything you're saying except for that, but you kind of...
But it's wrong for hungry people to steal.
I don't think that they should be, the system is corrupt and they shouldn't even be in a position where they have to. I agree with you in all those things.
So if you don't have the money, you should just starve.
No, I'm not saying that, but I don't think that you should steal. Like I told you, okay, let's say you're not in your house. This is what I mean. You acknowledge it when you said you're a hypocrite. You got to be a hypocrite to live in the system and then to say that it's okay for these things, that you want these things to happen. If you weren't in your home, or forget your home, somebody steals your car.
Mm-hmm.
They steal your car because they need to sell it, because they need the money to pay rent or to feed their family. You're going to have a problem with it.
Certainly, because I'm dispossessed, right?
Exactly.
Right.
And that's what happens to I'm not talking about a big corporation. I'm talking like a single landlord who owns a home. That might be how they feed their family. That might be their form of business. They're doing fair market value when it comes to renting and all the things. That's the only thing that I'm saying. So I don't think I own a grocery store and it's a family business. It's all I have. I'm not trying to do chains. And you're stealing from me. Now I can't provide. That's what I said. You're putting me in the same place that you are by the means that you're going about
putting me in the same place that you are, right? Which means that there needs to be, when you say you're putting me in the same place that you are, what I hear is, I'm okay with a societal hierarchy that says some people can eat and some people aren't.
No, there's just got to be a different way about it, which is why we both condemn the system that is in place to where a society exists where people have to do that.
So this is what I would say. The 2020 protests,
yes.
George Floyd. Lots of property damage, lots of burning, lots of stuff like that. Did you have a problem with it?
Yeah, some of it.
Okay.
Some of it I did because it was getting hijacked, right? I went protesting. You did too. When I went, it was meaningful, it was emotional, it was peaceful, it was great to see everybody coming together. When I went home that night, what I saw were people who were not involved with it just coming to fuck shit up. And that happened in LA. Like, they caught people who were driving down who weren't even from here just to do certain things, just to riot and steal because they could, and it would have been blamed on the protesters. Okay. So I'm not saying the whole thing was like that, but I don't think that the way to make your voice heard or to make things happen is to damage businesses. I don't.
Okay. So there are two things there. If you want to say that there were outside agitators that got involved with the protest, all right, that's one thing. But there were also people who were protesting who realized that civil disobedience and damaging things like that is part of it.
I don't agree with that.
Okay. Well, like, legitimately, the country was founded on it, right? Because
That's fine. I don't agree with that.
I'm just saying, like, the Boston Tea Party is you take the actual commerce and you throw it all into the harbor and you go, hey, we're not fucking with this. We'll ruin everything. We'll cut down the economics of the entire system in order for us to say, we have a fucking problem. We'll hurt you in your pockets. And so to me,
I don't agree with that either.
To me, civil disobedience in that, I mean, a sit-in is civil disobedience.
Correct.
Like a sit-in is going into a place, they will not serve you. You are not moving. You are stopping businesses from being able to do their, like,
Target right now is civil disobedience.
That's different though. That's not civil disobedience. Hold on. That's not civil disobedience. Target, the Target boycott is a refusal of patronage. You don't have to shop at Target. A sit-in was a place where a business told you could not be. And you going in there and sitting inside of that business against the rules of the business to fuck up the businesses until they serve you, to fuck up that business, to do that. That's civil disobedience. That's you saying, you're telling me you won't serve me. Like, Rosa Parks not moving to the back of the bus is civil disobedience.
Nonviolent resistance.
What difference does it make?
I'm just saying that's what Target is as well.
Well, Target.
That's just what I'm saying. It's a form of it.
But you understand the difference between going into a place where you're expressly.
Yes, there are different forms of protest, for sure.
But one is going into a place where you're expressly not allowed by the rules of that establishment and saying, these rules are unjust, we're going to fuck your business up. The other one is just not doing something that you really don't have to do.
I think they're the same. I think that they're both forms of civil disobedience.
Interesting. Okay.
It's okay.
But so I had obviously no problem with the 2020 riots. No problem. Riots. The 2020 protests. I had no problem with them. Whatever has to burn has to burn. Now, does that mean that if my apartment building would have burned down in the protests, that I would have been like, great? No, it would have sucked. Like, it would have sucked. Like, it would have been like if my apartment building got burned down, or if a brick went through my car, or if something, it would have sucked. It would have been, I wouldn't have been like, yeah, it was for just cause. I'm a person, I'm a human being. But the way I look at things in society is that every once in a while, to challenge a system, you got to break it a little bit.
I agree. But you and I disagree on the means.
Well.
To do it.
Okay.
We just disagree on that.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair enough. All right. Bull riding. Donnie.
Let's see if y'all agree or disagree on this. At Glowless tweeted, a girl just told me she ghosted me because I got too drunk and rode the mechanical bull 3 times on our first date. I mean, okay, the real question is, Rachel, how many mechanical bull rides before you ghost somebody?
First of all right.
I hope this is a true story. I really do.
All right. How many rides could he ride?
What?
How many rides could he ride?
Okay, there's so much that's in it.
Okay.
I'm going to say 2 without knowing much. Okay. 3 does seem excessive, right? Like, riding on a mechanical bull is a lot of fun, especially when you've been drinking and you're out and like you're drinking, and then you go to another bar and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a mechanical bull. This could be really fun, like a roller coaster. So you get on the mechanical bull. If I was with a guy, I'd be like, you do it too. Go get on it. I would say it. Gets on it. Maybe he falls off really quickly, right? Or maybe he just has the time of his life where he's like, I want to do it one more time. I'd be like, yeah, go for it. 3rd time, it might be a little too much. But here's what you have to take into consideration. You ever ridden a mechanical bull?
I have not.
You've seen people, right?
Yes.
So when you ride a mechanical bull...
I've been too embarrassed to do it, I'll be honest with you.
Okay. Well, I hate that for you because it is fun.
Yeah.
And you should do it. And if you did it, I would support you. But
I've also ridden like a real bull.
Yeah. And that might also be why you want to do it. Yeah. But if you ever go see a mechanical bull, you can't just simply walk up to it, hop on a couple of 3 steps, put your leg around it and say, let's go. You got to jump into the ring and then you're falling all over the place because it's a mat. And then you have to balance yourself to hop 2 legs on top. You don't just sit on it. Like you got to
I know, but what are you saying?
It's not sexy.
Effeminate.
It's not sexy.
Why though?
Because I've never seen anybody get on a bull and it looks sexy.
Shit, the niggas, so I got on the bull, and the bull was still in the little thing.
Talking about a mechanical bull.
I know. Oh, just a mechanical bull.
An actual bull is totally different. You get on it a totally different way.
Man, rest in peace, Dad. We would go to these rodeos where they was bronco busting, and where they was they was saddle bronc riding. They was team pinning. They was the girls were barrel racing. They were doing all of this stuff, and the women would be going crazy for the bull riders.
Totally.
Crazy.
I got you. Mechanical bull, the way you get on it is totally different. It is not sexy. So there's that. Then the number of rides would depend on like, how are you going like, are you weeing? Are you wee? Are you woo-hooing?
It's homophobic. It's effeminate.
No, it's not effeminate to me because I just said you can get on it and do. It's like you might look childish to me.
Okay,
I'm not gonna let you say it because I don't think it's home. I literally, I would be like, my man is this guy I'm going on a date with is fun. He wants to do childlike things like ride roller coasters or ride rides. Now I don't want to see you.
I retract homophobia. That's not right.
Yeah.
But it is. It's not masculine for some reason.
Well, after a while, it's not going to be sexy to me. Like, okay, get off the thing, ride me. Like, what? I don't want to see. I don't want to see you.
Take the mechanical bull out of it. Then take the mechanical bull out of it.
Yeah.
Let's say you are at the fair with the guy. You go to the LA County Fair, which people are going to right now. Which I don't go to the LA County Fair because I don't ride rides that aren't permanent.
I get that. That's
if
a
the
real
ride
thing.
has to be erected,
yeah,
and then pulled down, I can't ride it because
it's
bolts holding up the ride. I don't know. Maybe we could have some carnies on here and they could tell us how to get these rides. The ride has to be there for me to ride it, and then I still probably won't ride it. But let's say there's a ride called Shoot the Comet, and you're there with this guy. He loves Shoot the Comet. He gets on Shoot the Comet once. Y'all go play games. He's like, man, I'm trying to ride Shoot the Comet again. Then he goes on there and then I'm trying to ride Shoot the Comet again. What if he wants to ride like Shoot the Comet 4 times? Is it the same effect, or is there something specific about the bull that makes it different? because he might look like a kid. Well,
A lot of people,
well,
when you ride it, you just ride it, right? But like a lot of people look stupid riding the mechanical bull.
They do.
So
I feel like everybody looks stupid besides like
I think I
fucking
look cute.
John Travolta in Midnight Cowboy. John Travolta and Scott Glenn in Midnight Cowboy, they look cool.
Yeah,
on the
if you're making faces,
bull.
if the way you you fall off, it's just like and it's so public. Everybody's around the ring watching you do it. Like it just depends. When you're riding a ride like that, it's like
Rachel. So we're saying real quick, I trust you.
You are seeing it. See, that's you. This is a projection. You're trying to make me see it a certain way. I'm
wondering what the deal about. When I saw this, I was like.
But I literally wouldn't be, but I'd be like, oh, the guy I'm with likes to have fun. He's adventurous. He's down for whatever. If I'm like, I'm going to ride the bull, you should ride it too. Let's ride the bull. I would like that.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
I think I'd be more upset if I was like, I'm going to ride it. Well, no, not if he didn't want to, but if he was like, neither one of us should, I'd be like, oh, this guy's a stick in the mud.
So let's change it. Let's say a man is on a date with a woman and it's not about money. He's got bread, right? But when they go on a date, she is just crushing food. I mean, she going crab cake, she going big steak, she going the whole nine. She just crushing food like
gluttonous.
Well, I mean, gluttony, or she likes to eat, or she's like, but not quite like, oh boy, y'all not gonna see Magazine Dreams because y'all too pure. Y'all two good people. Y'all not gonna see
But
it.
like how he did when they went to the restaurant.
Boy, in Magazine Dreams, this nigga was crushing that goddamn food.
Yeah.
But not like that. But a lot of guys will say, if I'm on a date with a girl and she eats all of that, then it's like not feminine. It's not feminine, but it's a turnoff for whatever reason.
He finds it unattractive.
Finds it unattractive. And I guess I get it. Whatever turns you off from turns you off.
Is it that she's eating a lot of food or it's how she's eating it? Because see, that's what, there's a difference, right? So if she orders a bunch of food and you have a problem with that, that is definitely you being, that's a form of the patriarchy. I'm reading Anna's book.
Wait.
But if she's eating it, no silverware, eating it with her hands, food all over her face, like man or woman, that's disgusting.
Okay, so no, I get that, but that's not what we're talking about.
That's what I said. Is it how she's eating it or what?
Go back to the mechanical bull. If the guy was able to ride the mechanical bull successfully 3 times, looking cool, would you have a problem with it?
I think I'd be annoyed. I'd be like, okay, it's enough. By the third time, no. I would like it, right? But I stick 2 is enough. The third time, probably on anything, I'd be like, we gotta go. Like, let's go do something else. Like, this is enough. I think I would be annoyed by the third time.
The reason why this is fascinating to me.
It wouldn't bother me. I think y'all gotta get over that.
The reason why this is fascinating to me.
But we don't know what he was.
He got drunk and rode the bull. The reason why this is fascinating to me is because I'm always fascinated with what we tell ourselves and what actually exists. And what we tell ourselves, is, hey, open, live your life, do your whole thing. Doesn't mean that it's for you. By the way, it's so important. Not everything has to be for everybody.
That's true,
if a woman sees a guy that rides the mechanical bull 3 times, he's too drunk, and she doesn't like it, that's cool. She doesn't have to date him. That doesn't, whatever. But it is interesting to pull apart why she doesn't like that.
Yeah, you'd have to ask her.
And there's a part of this that she doesn't like that because she don't think that's manly.
Of course.
Right. And
you were talking about me, though.
Well, I know. But like, even like some of the things that you described, just to be real with you, is like men still do have to present masculine for, I mean, as much as we talk about destroying all of these things, some of them are hardwired by society, and we don't want to ever say that some of them are hardwired by society. We don't ever want to say, but when men do things for heterosexual women, when men do things that aren't masculine, heterosexual women that are into masculine men, they don't like those things.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. Like, it's so deeply within us, but everything is also, this is why I push back on this. It's like, it's so subjective, right? I might not like the way somebody stumbled across on the mat and hopped on the mechanical bull, right? But then I might not have a problem with the way that you painting your fingernails or wearing, a bunch of necklaces and a bunch of earrings or whatever. Do you know what I mean? it's subjective. It's like you could say it's what's masculine to you. You can say what's a preference for you. You can say whatever it may be.
It's subjective about what's masculine. So it's not the masculinity thing is a constant.
But see,
what you think about masculinity, you could think that painting your nails is not emasculating or not non-masculine, but getting on the bull is.
Because I could make an argument that not getting on the bull, but yeah. I could make an argument that I think it's more masculine when people express themselves the way that they want to, and they don't care how people perceive it, right? Like growing up, it was
except on the mechanical bull.
Except for her,
right?
Back in the day when we grew up, it was you couldn't wear pink. Men don't wear pink. Men don't wear pink. Men don't wear pink. And then it's like that. Obviously, that's kind of gone away now. But the point is I think it is. I think one of the most masculine things is when you are who you are and you know who you are and you don't care what other people say about you. That to me, and you don't feel like you have to prove yourself of what a man is supposed to be. You know that you're a man. I think that is one of the most masculine things. So if it's getting drunk and riding 3 bulls, riding a bull 3 times, then good for you.
All right.
But 3rd time is too much.
See? Okay. All
right. Tinder is testing out a new feature where users can set height preferences to sort their matches.
Height. Men are getting very delicate about the height.
I've outgrown the whole they got to be over 6 feet thing.
Okay.
I used to be like that.
What's the height? Do you have a height preference?
A preference? I would like for when I put heels on that you're taller than me. I'm 5'4", so like I can go 5'9".
You can go 5'9". Okay. I think the talk around this is more interesting than the actual thing.
Yeah.
So there's a height. Some women want guys that are. It's interesting which preferences are okay, and which preferences aren't okay. It's interesting that it's okay to have a preference of you be 6 feet tall, right? And then there are other preferences that are so indicative of things that we think are deeply rooted and fucked up. If a guy were to say, I don't want a woman with a small chest, or I will need a woman with a big butt. That gets lumped in sometimes to being part of an unfair beauty standard that magazines and all of that stuff force on to men, which it definitely is, but also there are sort of biological realities to those preferences, just like there are probably biological realities to height preferences in men. For women, they're probably biological realities that go, hey, you're big.
They assume certain things.
They assume cock wagging, or they assume you're more imposing and you can protect and you can do all of that stuff.
I think women do that
with
the over 6 feet. Yes, it's ingrained that it's aesthetically more pleasing to them, or they relate it to, what it is that you do. But I do think that people think tall, they can protect me better. They can provide for me better. They can do things for me that I can't do myself. I do think absolutely. And I think I used to think like that when I was, I know I did. I used to think like that when I was in my 20s.
But see, the thing that's crazy to me is they're not consciously thinking that. It's you don't consciously, when you see a woman with big breasts or big hips or a big butt, you don't consciously think oh my God, she's fertile. That's fertile ground for my seed. She's fertile.
But they used to think that about what was it, childbearing hips?
I know, but you don't. Your body just responds. But the reason why your body responds is because you're seeing fertility, you're seeing fertile land for what you're here to do, which is produce more people. That is the reason why, all of the twerking and the dancing and the shaking, those all come from different fertility rituals and tribal. That's true. Of people shaking around. So because it's their, hey, it's time to make more people. But we are trying to move ourselves out of that it's so durable that maybe we can't. Like maybe we can't move ourselves out of just...
I can't. I just told you I did. I think age and time and realizing that just because those things exist, it could be the total opposite.
You move yourself out of 6 feet, but he still must be a certain height when you put your heels on.
That's a preference, but it's not because it's what I like. It's not because I look at him as less than a man if he's not.
Right.
I don't look at a man who's 5'5" and think there ain't nothing that they could do for me. That's not it. It's just a preference. Just like I might
The question is, why does the preference exist?
Well, I think 6'6" is the 6 feet thing is what I just said why it exists. But to be like, I want somebody who's still taller than me, I think that's reasonable. That's just like saying I like somebody who, I don't know, isn't bald or whatever. I guess. Come on, hairline.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think sometimes we investigate, if we investigate like why we have the preferences, then we'll understand why some of them
For sure
are going to be around and others we're going to be like, oh, that doesn't make any sense. Like if you said, if a black man said he had a preference for white women, we would say, well, there's deeply rooted cultural, there's deeply rooted cultural toxicity in that. And let's explore why that is.
But I think that too, that also a way to dispel that is by trial and error. And I think if you're a woman who's like, I only want 6 feet, and then you keep getting this, and if you analyze the why you like that over 6 feet, and then you keep getting guys that don't fulfill that, I think it'll change your mind.
Yeah, you'll go down to 5'9". Glaze of the week is here.
Glaze of the week, glaze of the week. You're on somebody's meat. It's the glaze of the week, glaze of the week, glaze of the week. You're sucking dick.
So there are people that have been talking about Glaze of the Week.
Okay.
And they've said that Glaze of the Week is biased.
Towards?
That we only talk about people on the right who are glazing. What do you think about that?
Is RG3 on the right? No.
He would probably be a conservative.
I wouldn't say he's a Trumper. I'm not going to give him that. But I don't think that that's fair. Anybody can get it.
Anybody can get it. Have we done Glaze of the Week for anybody that would be considered on the left or liberal?
I mean, I tried to give it to Snoop when we had that conversation.
But even in that situation.
But it's not my segment, so.
It's definitely not. Certainly, okay? It's definitely not. But I hear you. Here's the problem, guys. And there are glazes that happen, and we'll be on the lookout to make sure that we distribute it more equally. The glazes on the right are just so fucking crazy, man. So crazy. So here we have prominent J6 activists, January 6th, Jake Long, who uploaded footage of him kneeling on the neck of another J6er by the name of Philip Anderson. This was done to disprove the thought or the theory that Derek Chauvin murdered George Floyd. This was filmed in front of the prison that Derek Chauvin is in. This guy, Philip Anderson, let this white man kneel on his fucking neck. Go back. This nigga ain't got no line. He let this white man kneel on his neck. A la George Floyd, he's on his stomach. The white man is kneeling on his neck. I'm sorry. You're a boy. You are. You're a boy. Even what I wonder is who comes up with that idea?
He probably did.
And the thing is, it's like, yo, if I get it that you have to be a part of the team, that you have to be in ideological lockstep with the team. But there is no part of you right there. Donnie, run it again. There's no part of you that says, hey, Jake, I don't want you to kneel on my neck like I am George Floyd.
He loves it.
He must love it. He must have a fucking raging boner right now.
Guarantee you it was his idea.
Glaze. That's not just a glaze to Jake Lang. That's a glaze to the entire white race. He let a white man kneel on his neck for a video. Yo, you know what? And I'll say this to the right. The people on the right, I was having a conversation with somebody that's going to be out next week. I was having a conversation. This is the stuff that turns black people off about the right. This is the stuff.
This is?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Because we can talk as much as we want about, I don't know, people being beholden to political parties and why we need to think about things in terms of policy, or we need to think about things in terms of an actual agenda and what's gotten done, and whether or not being beholden to one political party or the other one, as far as those parties being like organized movements, benefits black people. But you know the one thing that I know for sure? That I don't want nobody to kneel on my neck for a video. That I don't want to call nobody daddy. That I don't want like the black Republican men, what are y'all doing? Like, how could I look at that and be like, yeah, that's something that I would like to do?
Yet, black men or black people, I should say, are still a part of the party.
Yeah, they are a part of the party. I mean, look, I think that we can have political disagreements. This doesn't face it.
What they look at this and say is, that's not me, though. That's extreme. That's not me.
But don't you have to call, look at this.
They
look this.
They other themselves.
He might as well nut on his back. His dick is right over there. Like, he got the boots. It's like, that is so fucking low. That's like a slavery reenactment. That's like legitimately. Have you seen those guys and they're in the reenact? They dress up.
Yes.
And so when they were going to what was it? Rachel Kirkconnell? Didn't they have black
antebellum parties?
Antebellum parties, and they dressing up as slaves, or they're the one black dude in the crew, and everybody's touching their hair.
There's always one. There's always one.
If I'm looking at that, I'm thinking to myself, there's no fucking way I want to join any political movement where I have to cosplay as fucking George Floyd while somebody kneels on my goddamn neck.
I agree with you.
I feel so sorry for that brother.
Oh, don't feel... No, now you're taking it too far. Why would you feel sorry for him?
I feel sorry for him because he does not understand the strength of his ancestors. There's no fucking way that he possibly could.
Okay.
Let this guy fucking kneel on his neck for the George Floyd video.
I will agree with you about the strength of his ancestors, but don't feel sorry for this guy. This guy, he's gone to the point of no return. This is a grown man, but wants to cosplay as a boy, white man's boy. He gets off on this. This is what he likes. Don't feel sorry for him. He made this choice. He made this decision. There's always one. Let him go. He can't be saved. Let him go.
All right. Once again, we don't have time for Angel Reese-Shedeur Sanders.
It's a packed show.
It's a packed show.
But we do want to hear it.
I don't think I want to do it now. Let me tell you why. I want to have a conversation about Angel Reese, but I don't want to bring Shedeur into it because I don't think it's fair to Shedeur. Shedeur didn't ask for any of the things. Basically, the gist of what I was going to go through is that I think that we're seeing a lot of support, an erosion of support of Angel Reese when Angel Reese is not playing that well. And I think that we've been supportive of Shedeur Sanders and Deion Sanders when in the ups and the downs. When Colorado has won, we've been way up on Colorado. When Colorado has struggled, I actually know people that have been like, don't matter, I'm going down with the ship, right? And when Shedeur, who's accomplished so much in football, in college football, but when he's been doing great, we've been all on him. And when he's done poorly, played poorly, or maybe some people would say comported himself poorly, I don't really think he has done that very much. We've been there for him at his lowest moments in a way that I don't think that we've been there for Angel Reese. And I just got to go ahead and read it off while I'm here. I'm not going to spend the whole time that I was going to spend on it. I want to remind people something about Angel Reese real quick. When we're talking about Angel Reese, I want to remind you guys of something. And yes, I'm a huge LSU fan. Angel Reese, already in her basketball career, is a WNBA All-Rookie team member, a WNBA All-Star, a WNBA rebounding leader, her first year in the league, the unrivaled defensive player of the year, an unrivaled second team, all unrivaled, an unrivaled champion, her team won, an NCAA champion, which you could argue is the highest achievement in women's basketball. You could argue that the highest achievement in women's basketball is actually not a WNBA title, but that it's actually an NCAA title. She was the most outstanding player of the NCAA tournament. Unanimous first-team All-American, two-time first-team All-American, two-time WBCA Coaches All-American, second-team All-American, third-team All-American, SEC Player of the Year, two-time first-team All-SEC, first-team All-Big Ten before she got to LSU, two-time SEC All-Defensive Team, Big Ten All-Defensive Team, Big Ten All-Freshman Team, McDonald's All-American in 2020. Angel Reese is a bona fide basketball fucking star. And I'm hearing so many people take so much joy in acting like she's a scrub. And what I'm saying is that when I looked at Angel and when I looked at Shedeur, when people were calling Shedeur a scrub, and when people were saying that Shedeur couldn't play, and when people were saying that Shedeur was getting propped up because of things off the court and not what he did, off the field and not what he did on the field, we all together banded together and went, no, look how much this kid has accomplished. It's so unfair the way he's being treated. Mm-hmm. I am not in any way right now saying that Angel Reese is playing spectacularly this season. She's shooting an incredibly low field goal percentage in the WNBA. She needs to figure that out. She needs to get better. She needs to finish better. That's absolutely true, right? I also think that the mountain of scrutiny, the mountain of negativity that is surrounding her is affecting her. And I'm wondering why we're not engaging. And I'm talking to my brothers here. I'm talking to the NBA community that I've seen be so supportive of Caitlin Clark, who I understand is a fantastic basketball player. She's a better basketball player than Angel Reese is, particularly on the offensive side of the ball. Why they haven't been as supportive as Angel Reese, why I don't see some of the same support for her, why I don't see people picking her up, why I see so many people coming out of the woodworks now and wanting to say, hey, real talk, let's have a conversation. Angel Reese sucks. I'm seeing so much of that. I'm like, why are we not engaging in love with this basketball player who is a legitimate fucking star basketball player and has been a star on every fucking level she's played on. Every level she's played on, she's been a star. Every single time she's picked up a basketball, she's been a star. She's already an all-star in the WNBA. But it seems like we're so interested in Angel Reese failing. We're so interested in exposing her as being someone that's not deserving of all of the attention that she's getting. And I don't understand what that is. Okay.
I mean, I agree with everything you said, and I'm glad that you said it. And she needs more people to speak on her behalf in the way that you are. But some people are easier to kick when they're down. And in the same way, I would say I do see people kicking Shedeur down, but it comes from, it's like people who, like want to hate on Dion or
it's white people,
whatever.
basically.
Yes, it's white people. When it comes to Black women, everybody's doing it. That's what it feels like. So when you're like, why is it happening? Because it's easy for them to do that. It's the low-hanging fruit.
Well, actually, essentially did it. So, I'm sorry. Thank you, Dawn Staley, for joining us. What a jam-packed show.
Yeah, Dawn was great. I love that we had her. Come on, you tried to say you were excited, but I was very excited to have her.
Why did you do that, though, when I said I was excited?
Because I was like, I am too. I wanted her to know, hey, we are excited to have you come on.
Do you think you could lock up Dawn Staley? Right now?
Right now?
Yeah. Don't embarrass yourself.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm like, come on, man. Because what did you say about Caitlin Clark? You said you feel like you could stop her?
I said I could hold her to 15.
You feel like
That's what I said.
So you feel like you still feel that way? You don't want to walk that back?
I'm not going to take it back.
So when you say hold her to 15, you mean like in an entire WNBA game?
Well, what else? A quarter? You thought him in a quarter? You thought him in a half?
I'm gonna let you know something. She going for 30 in the quarter. Okay, she too tall. She moved too well. That Caitlin Clark is a motherfucker. I'm gonna be honest with you. She is. You're not gonna be able to stop her, Rachel. Donnie, what are your thoughts? You think Rachel could stop Caitlin Clark?
I like the confidence. I like it, but no. You're like LeVar Ball in it right now, which is dope, but I don't see it.
Black women, kick us when we're down.
Also,
you see how you big up the white woman and you put me down?
It's just a basketball thing.
No.
If you had all of those accolades,
no.
She can't talk like you. She can't lawyer like you. She can't Delta Stroll like you. So many things that you do better than her.
Delta Stroll.
But basketball just ain't one of them. I just gotta keep it all the way gangster.
I said 15.
All right, we gotta get out of here. Take your thin caps off and do not stop learning. I am Lathan Jr.
And I'm Rachel and Lindsay. Bye, guys.